literally... Look at the bans. It's literally the same. Both teams going for the exact same.
Right now, looking at both these teams, the Eve as well is going to get banned out. So right now, RRQ, do they want to take the Nathan again? Because I feel like Albert has quite a big hero pool, so maybe putting it a little bit later is better. Paquito, perfect decision. This is what we were expecting the first pick was going to be in game number 1.
Yeah, Paquito picked up here for RRQ. We saw the wonders that Edward was able to do in that XP lane. Now, the fun fact about RRQ is that they're able to switch this up anywhere on the map. They can also play it in the gold lane by Skylar, alright? So, very, very flex coming in for RRQ. That is the same route, I guess you could kind of say, from game number 1. But Blacklist, what do they respond with? Do they want to go for the Natan? Do they want to go for a different approach? Maybe picking up the Yisun Shin and the Farsa once more?
I like the idea of keeping the Yisun Shin because it buys more than just the damage output and the mechanical outplay potential. It's such a macro hero. Again, there's so much on this Yisun Shin that if you're thinking about it on a logical sense, he might actually be more broken than Beatrix.
Yeah, but again, from the side of Blacklist, if they do take the Yisun Shin as well as the Farsa pool, exactly, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect because again, taking the Farsa would be so difficult because they already have the Paquito. The Paquito can go to the jungle and the jungle can oppress every single lane. So right now, taking Estes as well as the Yisun Shin is the safest, but still very versatile role for the Blacklist international lineup.
The Queen has come to play.
Oh no. This is scary. The Estes coming in onto the second game. Let's see what RRQ responds with the Farsa and the Ruby. I like that they're going to go for some picks on the board with the Ruby, with the Farsa, with that knockout strike from the Paquito. But Blacklist, what are they going to pick up now? They might just go for the Yuzong. Just literally make this Farsa unable to play.
A lot of picks over here, but honestly, even Phoveus will be pretty good because every single time the Ruby does absolutely anything, the Phoveus can wreak havoc. So in terms of how Phoveus deals with their own composition right now with the SA Yisun Shin, I feel like Phoveus is a very good pick. But if they want something a little bit safer, just like you said, the Yuzong or the Yuzong will be good, and another hero, Esmeralda.
Well, let's see. Look at that. The fans are ready for game 2. I mean, after that game 1, who isn't ready? Let's see. Blacklist with the last pick of the first phase. What do they want to pick up? It is most probably going to be the XP lane for... No, oh yeah. It's going to be Haji's hero.
Yes, Haji on this Cho. He's going to play the support Cho as the Queen is lacking some CC. It's going to be a good approach here. But yeah, we did predict that it's got to be an XP laner. They have other ideas. I'm guessing, in before, it was Lapu Lapu. There is a solid target in that Farsa. I guess they're just waiting to see if it's the right call. They need to see 2 more from RRQ.
How do you crack Blacklist International with the peel from Cho, with the healing and the sustainability of the Estes?
The peel and heal.
The peel and heal, that's the combination here for Blacklist. The peel and heal, the ube, whatever you want to call it, it is disgusting. But Blacklist will take away the Clint from Skylar, knowing full well that he is still hiding some of his hero picks.
Speaking of hiding for both these teams, a lot of things have been hidden. And yeah, again, RRQ, they have a game plan and they're going to stick to it.
I feel like that Alice would have been the answer for RRQ, but honestly, it's going to be 50-50, right? Because Blacklist International with the Cho, it's going to be making it very hard for that Alice to get in, but also if he just gets that Winter Truncheon early, it's going to be really good. Basically just going in, forcing the members to split away.
Are they going to attack Oheb again? Because it could be the same 2 bans again for the last phase for RRQ. If this is a Harith, then all the more I think Blacklist would like that.
However, I do have to say, if Harith goes on to the side of Blacklist International with the Yisun Shin as well as the SSZ, that was so scary. Speaking of scary, Natan.
I see where you're going, but that's what makes Coach Achill's job so much harder. It's double jeopardy. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Okay, RRQ now with the Farsa, technically they can still win this, right? Because of the range, the damage, they're able to nullify the Natan and the Yisun Shin, but with the Estes.
I'm looking at Roger right now, honestly. I feel like the Roger would be a pretty solid pick, especially if they take another hero that can really dive in quickly. But again, we have to think, this Paquito, is it going to go to the jungle? Is it going to the EXP lane? Again, it's flexible. But I just feel like Roger would be a pretty good pick over here, especially if they can target the Queen early on the game, not letting him scale up, not getting tanky towards the game.
Oh, it's gonna be RRQ picking up the Bruno and the Lapu.
What?
Bruno in the gold lane, Lapu in the jungle. We've seen this in MPLID.
Yes, I love it. I'm all for
Lapu
it.
jungle?
Bruno, yeah, no, Paquito in the jungle.
Okay.
Sorry.
Paquito
Sorry.
jungle, Lapu on R7. I love that. I love that they pick up the Lapu here. It's a great denial piece
Yes.
too. It's so solid.
That's what I was about to say, right? They need some CC. And with the Lapu, that is some CC, literally. With the help of the Ruby, they can follow it up. And the Paquito as well. And the range and damage coming in from the Bruno and the Farsa. But what we do need to take a look at is, will Bruno be a factor here? Blacklist picking up the Phobius here.
Oh, he's targeting so many. There's so much that Edward here can answer. But again, it's a matter of scaling. Because looking at RRQ's lineup, they go very, very fast.
Well, let's see. Right now, LaFell, based on the drafts, what do you think RRQ is looking for?
Okay, so looking at the draft right now, RQ, they try to get a small lead, and then once they have the conceal, they're going to go very heavy in terms of the engagement, especially there is a lot of marksmen on the side of Blacklist International. So we have to look at how the Estes is going to play. If he can actually manage to survive a lot of the engages coming in, they're going to scale very well with the Yeast and Shin as well as the Natan. And Phobius as well, if he is present in most of the team fights, it's going to be very, very difficult for the side of RRQ to micromanage a lot of different damage coming in from a lot of different angles.
Oh man, all right, let's see here. For you, Leo, I want to ask the same question, but for Blacklist International.
Yeah, I have full trust that the Estes will carry quite a bit of the early game into the mid, where we'll start to see Edward spike up. It's just a matter of finding that window. Edward has to know when it's time.
Well, let's get into Game 2, Singapore! Are you ready? The Royal Rumble continues here as we enter the land of Dawn.
Right now, looking at both of the compositions, again, we gotta have to look at this Bruno. How is he gonna play? Because traditionally, how we look at Bruno is he can push the turrets very, very fast, which again, this is what RQ, they are trying to set up. This is what they are trying to do. Win one lane, really push their advantages, and then try to snowball up there. If they manage to actually take out Oh My Venus, that will be the icing on the cake.
Honestly, I actually really like the Bruno now that I think about it, because Blacklist, they want to group up the around the world. That's going to be a very, very big ultimate here.
Yeah, but Wave of the World, they have to time it well again, because that slide tackle could be punished by Phobius, by Edward. So again, there's a checkmate on both sides. It's just a matter of decision making. Again, there's something I noticed here. I think RRQ Hoshi, if I'm not mistaken, in under the 2-minute mark, they got a free first blood on to Oh My Venus. Now they're not so aggressive.
Yeah, they're playing it a little bit chiller right here. Again, composition-wise, they need to wait for the Paquito to set up the things here. As look at that, Bruno does so much damage here in the early stages of the game. Wise though, with Haji on the backs, they might be looking for the early aggression. Vin will be able to dash away, and both of the teams just going for farm at this point.
I love that Albert knows that he's much, much faster than what the rest of Black International can do. Hence, he's able to go for that small rotation, take that small camp, and then eventually prop up for this first turtle 5 seconds away. Is there going to be a collapse though? Oh, there is.
Oh, R7 goes over to Rainbow Sider. That's going to be first blood picked up by RRQ. Haji goes over to Jikundo, able to run away, but it's going to be the stun connecting, unable to actually, as Haji will be able to flicker out of it. But RRQ with that pick, they're going to go for the turtle.
Yeah, this is exactly what they want to do. They want to set something up, and they should be able to secure this turtle, but right now...
Oh, yeah, it's going to be Edward actually jumping into the Demonic Force right there. Still going in once more. It's going to be a lot of damage placed. Albert is going to be able to pick that kill up, though. Wise unable to, and that's a 1-for-0. But with Venus back, they'll have to sustain. Do they have the damage to contest?
Right now, for the side of RRQ, this is basically doing what they want to be done. Edward getting that first death will slightly slow the way that he is going to build up into this game. And RRQ Hoshi, with the drive that they have, they should be able to contest this turtle very, very healthily, because from the side of Blacklist International, if they get anywhere close, they're going to get eaten up by Albert on this Paquito. So the game is playing the way that we expected it to be. But RRQ Hoshi, can they keep up this aggression? That is going to be the question.
What I'm interested in is the fact that RRQ Hoshi are taking their time. They could have really forced out that turtle, but Albert says, okay, you know what, I'll just take my buffs first, and then we'll slowly roll up to it. Turtle Slain brought to you by the STB. But what this does get, though, is some space for Oheb up top. Between the Bruno and the Nathan, I'm guessing maybe OM just wants to find the window wherein, yes, he does. Look at how much they took away from the outer church energy shield. This might be the answer. This might be the gambit.
Yeah, it might be. And Haji now going for Vin right there. Still an understanding that they may have no follow-up at this point of the game. Wise does not deal that much damage to be able to one-shot a Ruby. But RRQ controlling the pace of the game. Very good response from Blacklist. We'll see how it continues here entering the 4th minute of the game.
Yeah, entering the 4th minute of the game right now, it's a little bit unfortunate that from the side of Blacklist International, the turtle is going to spawn at the top. So right now, Blacklist International, if they set this up wrong, RRQ Hoshi can take full advantage and really force OHEB out of this lane.
Oh, it's going to be Haji caught out right now. R7 goes over to Bravest Fighter. Haji still able to flicker away, and RRQ have burned their resources to look for a pick in that bottom side. OHEB, look at what he's doing. He has the entropy to get away as well, but it might be the collapse. Venus might be caught out here. Skylar goes in for the flicker. It's going to be Albert coming in and securing the kill. 1 turret for 1 kill. It is RRQ with the pace, but honestly, I prefer Blacklist there with the turret take.
Yes, and oh my Venus, you can clearly see the Queen plotted that out. The Queen was understanding of the long con.
Yes.
Did not even use a Purify.
Yep.
Okay, take me.
Just take me.
This is the sacrifice.
Yep.
And again, like the way that he is playing, once he has used his skill.
Oh no, maybe not this one.
Yeah, that was definitely not planned right there, but technically, you can kind of say it's planned because Blacklist, they're playing the cross map really well.
As long as Wise and OHEB, their scaling is perfectly fine. Because again, Blacklist International, they really should not be looking at fights right now unless from the side of RRQ, they overextend with very, very low HP.
Exactly what they're doing, and they've done so well to force Albert to come up here. But eventually that would have been his timing anyways, since Turtle is coming up here now at the 5-minute, 10-second mark. 4 members of RRQ actually poising up.
Oh, Blacklist have the numbers advantage here. R7 is nowhere to be seen, but it's going to be actually a lot of damage placed, and that is Edward taking right before the fight. Haji goes in for Skylar, is able to get onto him with the Wave Dragon, but R7 now is in the midst of it all. Let's see, he's going to go for the Bravest Fighter onto Wise. The stun not connecting, actually targeting to Venus, and that's brilliant by RRQ, but Clay is going to get caught out. OHEB is in front heading on the side lanes, but it's going to be Albert. OHEB! Still able to kite with the entropy, out microing and procuring that double kill. Wise, will he be able to connect the kill? He will! Shut down and a double kill. Blacklist equalizing.
A delayed wipeout. Eventually, Blacklist took down everyone on the side of RRQ Hoshi for the price of, again, oh my Venus life. Let's check out that replay. LaFell, break down what exactly happened.
This is what I say, Blacklist International should not fight unless overextension coming in from RQ. And look at all of their HP. They're all very low, but they still want to go very, very aggressive. And OHEB, he's been kiting every single thing. He's been dealing the damage without getting touched. And this is the mistake coming in from the side of RQ. They go ham, they go aggressive, which is what they have to do. But they've been taking a lot of damage from the Natan, and they still keep on commencing. And that is bad because right now, Blacklist International, the scaling composition has 1,400 gold lead.
That's the problem for RRQ right now. They don't know who to target. They target Venus, it's wrong. They target Wise, it's wrong.
Because Wise is going to get away with it, and Venus just likes it anyways, given the pull yourself together. I must note, though, before Oh My Venus again falls, it's a 4-man collapse. It's bound to happen. Albert gets the kill. I must commend how R7 actually entered that team fight. The Relentless one using the maximum range of his whole kit on the Bravest Fighter. If there was a better follow-up, that would have been devastating for Blacklist. Could have been a wipeout for them.
I would say that that was a good initiative. Right now, Vin is engaging.
Wait a minute, it's going to be Wise taken down actually. The shutdown coming in for Albert as he pushes Haji back to the team. A lot of damage has been placed. Edward going for the Demonic Force on the Skylar right now. It's a lot of damage already. Vin, why is he dashing? He's going to be punished for that. It's going to be Edward targeted right now. Albert's still able to dash. It's going to be Edward. Oh! Haji goes over the way of the Dragon. Albert is going to be connected, and that's going to be the kill picked up. Edward in the 1v3 is going to be able to outplay RRQ. A 1-for-1 right now, but a beautiful team fight orchestrated by Blacklist.
This is why I said from the side of Blacklist, it's so good to take the Phobias because again, Vin, he doesn't want to do it, but he will eventually proc Edward to let him use his Demonic Force. And right now, Blacklist International, Edward's having such an easy time. He's just spamming his ult.
It's bound to happen because again, it's the Ruby picked up in the first phase. That Phobias came in clutch. Last pick, Phobias. Beautiful.
3,000 gold lead right now. Blacklist are trying to suffocate their opponents, and Haji, this man right here, he got caught a few times, but by a few times I mean one time, but that way of the Dragon in that fight, that secured the team fight for them.
Yeah, and I like how Oh My Venus is just being a walking vision and just like, yeah, Oheb, you just stay, do what you want to do. I'm going to be here. They're going to attack me first. They're going to have a lot of time to run away with Entropy. And right now, Blacklist International, 3,000 gold up. They can actually take this turtle fight, but it is also an opportunity for Kyoshi to come back.
Yep, in this whole scramble, the fact that they're trading left and right, it's good for Blacklist, but now they're waiting to happen. There's a Demonic Force.
Yeah, Demonic Force onto Vin right now. He can't go anywhere. It's going to be Skylar targeted. The turtle has been taken away. Flame Shot being used to proc another Demonic Force once again onto the backside. But now for the airstrike, actually able to deal some damage. Albert going in, R7 goes to the backside. Bravest Fighter has been popped without damage, has been placed onto him. Albert going for the knockout back onto two members. RRQ needs to disengage right here. Oheb, he jumps all the way under the turret, and Wise picks up the kill. Beautiful arrow, beautiful execution by the Filipino champs.
Just the right amount of aggression and overcommitment without a punish on the swing back.
It's just the differences between how they fight, and right now they're fighting again.
Oh, but look at that. Albert going for the knockout strike again onto Haji and Venus. Oheb still able to proc the entropy. For the airstrike being used, Venus is still able to run away, but not for long. Play picks up the kill, and RRQ are still in the game. They might be, I think they are going to get outscaled though.
No, again, looking at how they play, this shows the level of thought that they put in terms of the team fight. Kyoshi going in full ham. They just want to deal as much damage as they can on the right targets. But look at how Blacklist International play. This is why I say the way that they execute their team fights, they want to outlast, they want to out-sustain. Look at how they kite all the damage. Look at how much healing Oh My Venus is giving to the team. This is a clash of styles, and Blacklist International is showing that their style, as of right now, is superior.
Oh, but wait a minute, R7. Oh,
Never mind.
Very beautifully, very beautiful.
To build up on that, the sustain by Blacklist International, it's not even their prime form yet. A lot of these team fights, Oh My Venus would die in the first 2 or 3 moves, right? So what if they're able to keep the Queen alive? I'm starting to think, is this the right way? Should Oh My Venus actually play the Lightning Rod early on or try to stay alive? Maybe for the first 10 minutes. Die, and then eventually you go for inevitability.
Yeah, also though, I want to put my put everyone's attention onto Wise right now. There's a lot of hate actually for this man in the chat previously on the BTK game because he's one-dimensional. He can only play, he's a weak link in the team. But you can see, man, this guy, every single hero he touches, he plays the role perfectly. Bane going for turrets, going for disengages. Perfect. Going for the Yisun Shin. Look at what he's doing. He is avoiding every single fight. The prime example being game 1.
And I'm liking right now because Edward has been such an enabler for him. And look at the engage.
Yeah, Haji actually going for the engage, but he's actually going to fail, and that's going to be him popped. Oh, still alive. Very, very good by Venus right there, catching him, and also by Haji using that dash to get him to safety. But now it's time to take a look at the items.
Yeah, looking at itemization of here, Oh My Venus is going full on tank items, and Oheb as well as Wise. Looking at the damage, they have 3 damage items each. So as of right now, they're almost at the peak form of how much damage they can deal. From the side of Kyoshi, Albert having 2 damage items and only 1 defensive item. He can go in, he can deal a lot of damage, but the problem is Vin right now, he's building cooldown, but every single time he's in a team fight, it's like a 6v4 right now. Vin is betraying his own team with no choice being on his own hands.
Yep. The pull actually is a lot more of a liability sometimes, and that's what's allowing these trades.
Guys,
not even mention how the Demonic Force is gonna happen. Now it pops off.
Yeah, Vin goes in for the I'm offended. Only 2 members right now, but the fight is gonna be very, very slow. Demonic Force to the backside. Edward's gonna be targeted right now. He's not gonna be able to die though. Vin is gonna proc another Demonic Force, but it's actually a bait. Edward, what is this? He survives that, and the killing spree by Oheb. Oh my god! Blacklist are outclassing RRQ. But honestly, look at Wise, 11 minutes in, 15, level 15.
Okay, yes, outclassing made the better decisions, but just the same, sometimes you gotta say, that's what the hero does.
Yeah, it's a brain dead. I'm just like, I'm gonna press one button over and over again, and you won't kill me? Probably. Because again, looking at both of these teams, Blacklist International, again, they're scaling calm. They have the advantage. So yeah, even if Edward dies, it's fine. And this is what I want to say. Game 1 and Game 2, Edward has been enabling Wise. Wise looking so strong right now just because Edward is forcing Kyoshi to do everything that they can to take this man down. And when everyone's looking at Edward, no one is looking at Wise and Oheb. Both of these heroes dealing massive damage coming in from the backline. And again, both of them having 3 damage items. They're gonna hurt a lot.
At this point right now, 5,000 gold lead, about to be 6K as they control the entire map. Differences is from the first game is that RRQ, they don't have a good high ground. Other than that Farsa, no one really can clear the waves as fast.
Well, you can do it the old-fashioned way and attack it with Skylar, right? It'll take a little longer, but that's one duty. That's one role, responsibility that you're giving to Skylar, who should be shredding through heroes, not minions.
Well, let's see right now. Blacklist International already planning for something. Haji going in with the conceal. It is going to be RRQ zone away from the inhibitor turret. RRQ nowhere to go. Blacklist International pick up the inhibitor. Now they are just trying to defend, but at this point, once again, Blacklist will be the ones controlling, and RRQ, their defense isn't as good as game one.
Yeah, and we also have to look at RRQ. They have a lot of flickers on their hands, even Skylar. So right now, again, Blacklist International, they're kind of losing to this Phoveus pick, where again, he doesn't have to do a lot of damage. He just has to be annoying. And we see that even if he gets low, the heal coming in from Oh My Venus, it doesn't even have to be a huge heal. You just have to give enough time for him to proc his Demonic Force. And RRQ, what can he do?
Oh my god, Edward jumps in all the way to the base right now, but it's going to be Haji going for the win. With Dragon connecting with the flicker as well for the airstrike being able to dash away, zoning Oheb. But man, 8,000 gold lead. They're controlling the game, even though like it seemed close in that team fight. The health bars were going low. The kills didn't happen for RRQ, and Venus can just heal everyone back up.
Yeah, we keep talking about how Edward is doing so much for this lineup on Blacklist. Quick bit. The name Edward actually means Guardian of Fortune. He's guarding everyone, man.
Oh, look at that. Haji going for the Jikundo with the Dragon connection on R7. The damage follow-up coming through as well. It's going to be a big dump. And Blacklist are looking for... They collapse! Edward! What the heck? He dives the base, and it will all be worth it because Blacklist picks game 2 up. And that is match point for MPL Royalty, the Queen, and folks.
I am honestly shocked, but just the same, putting myself in RRQ's shoes, is it really going to happen? Am I going to let this through?
Right now, if they lose again, 3-0.
0-6 to Filipinos.
0-6 to Filipinos.
From the upper to...
6 straight losses RQ has against a Filipino team, 2 different teams. But again, right now, I do have to say, it is in the draft. I don't want to sound boring, but that is really what it is. What can they do about this Phoveus? I already talked about it in the first part of the draft, but if we look at the bans, they still focus on Oheb. They're taking out the Alice, they're taking out the Harif, they're letting this Phoveus go. Like, we predicted it very, very early on, and again, Phoveus got picked up later in the pick of bans.
Yep.
The Lapu-Lapu, if they replace it with Esmeralda, probably better.
Probably, right? But I think the analysts can actually put some thought more into this.
Let's see, Gideon and Wolf, it's time for you to dissect game number 2. Take it away.
Boys, you're absolutely right. The draft definitely played a huge part of this. And Edward, what can you really say about it? Paquito being and having a Ruby, and not to mention you already have a Phoveus. That's a lot of dashes to access that back line.
Yeah, again, the last pick coming out from Blacklist International almost always just trumps the draft of RRQ. That Phoveus is dubbed in the Philippines as Air Edward because he's just dunking on everybody. And you saw that in that game. And, you know, we're going to be talking about the draft for sure, but maybe when we see the items that will make more explanations on how it was better.
Okay, let's hold on there. You got to pass it to me real quick here because we got to have a quick shout out to our travel partners, Tumi. Guys, remember that Tumi, the leading international performance, luxury, and design Tumi esports pro level bags and accessories for gamers on the go. Cop one for yourselves because I guarantee you it's worth every penny. They've got literally everything. Slots for your bag, slots for your backpack to put all your consoles in, especially for your mobile phones, and even a power bank slot.
That's crazy.
You don't get that every time.
I already used that, by the way. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, now, since we've already been talking about the draft and how it was so difficult, I would say, for RQ. Here's the thing, right? So they went in for Lapu-Lapu as well as the Bruno as their last pick. And in a way, it was one of your picks that can make sense against the Estes because of the wave of the world dealing, of course, damage to many heroes because they pass on the ball, right? Basically. So that's a theoretical approach when you want to go against Estes. It has been tried before And I'm telling you, man, it didn't work ever.
Yeah, it's rough, but you can definitely see what RRQ was going for here. They wanted to make sure that the early game comp could scale nicely into the mid game here. However, a lot of interesting engagements, and most importantly, coming in from Blacklist International, a lot of good patience. You gotta give it to the man Oheb here and how he is utilizing Natan, making sure that once he is stacked up, he's ready to disposition people. And some of the most interesting entropies I've ever seen. Really, really ballsy. He's right in the front lines.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to be talking about that for sure when we see the highlights. I want to point out also the idea from RRQ. They want a team fight almost all the time. They want to get the kills. And boy, oh boy, did they get it. 3-0 from the start. However, I don't want to really sound negative here, but the way that RRQ kind of dealt with the approach of Blacklist International was just plainly wrong. So what happened here was they tried to fight. They got 3-0, right? However, Blacklist International, what they did was to just out macro RQ in the early stages. And that's a weird sentence, right? How do you out macro in the first few minutes of the game? Well, Blacklist International, they were able to recover. They made sure that after the 2 kills coming out from RQ, the turtle will not be taken. Because Blacklist International, they make sure that the turtles always favor their team.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just the turtles, right? It's kind of the setup that they did for the turtles, knowing that the main engagement tool for the side of RRQ is going to be R7 and as well as Vince. So knowing this, they just need to bait out the feathered airstrike, and you can tell by the amount of damage that they're able to get. Most importantly, just the overall siege damage. They want to get the biggest ultimates out, the biggest win conditions for RRQ down on the ground before reinitiating the fight and allowing Edward, once he gets a second item, to start jumping in for Skylar.
2 glaring stats that you have to look for: damage to tower, and as well as the damage coming up from OM, alright? So the explanation here is the Blacklist International squad, they only have to put everything in the basket of Nathan, wherein you don't allow OHIM to just carry this game. And then 0 damage to turrets from RRQ. Imagine that.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It really is. But you got to give it to the man here on the screen. Our MVP coming in from Blacklist International. Edward having a solid game, and one of the more interesting KDAs with a 1-4-4, but doing such an important role. The moment he gets his first item down, he's like, you know what? He's not even going to greed out to go for an Ice Queen's Wand. Give me full tank. Give me that Juggernaut armor on top of having an Oracle plus a Dominance Eyes. He understands his role.
Exactly. And Air Edward, his primary role is just to disrupt the composition of RRQ. Whenever RRQ tries to snowball death ball, against Blacklist International, they're gonna be grouping up as 5. But as the moment that Edward pops his ultimate, really just makes RRQ scramble, right? And definitely we're gonna see that in the highlights, because if you're looking at RRQ, they were trying to get pickoffs and they were trying to go for the front lines of Blacklist International. But eventually, around the 5-minute, 6-minute mark, Blacklist International, they grouped up. You already have the ultimate for the Estes. And when we saw that when you're trying to go for the Estes, they just heal up, and then it's time for Air Edward to dunk on people. Game 1 though, the highlights that we're gonna see, it's intense.
I think this is by far, I don't know if it's gonna be the longest one, but we're skipping a lot of that mid-game to jump right towards the moments where you're seeing just overall good defense coming in from RRQ. But you can tell that as the game goes by, a lot of the calls, they look sharp now, but Blacklist International are just maintaining composure. It feels like, Blacklist International is a little bit more comfortable when it comes down to the ultra late stages of the game, maintaining their overall consistency and not falling into the problem that Na'Vi had with Torak, where they start becoming sloppy.
So 5-0 coming out from RRQ, but eventually this fight was the real deal breaker. I would say this was the winning clash coming out from Blacklist International, because they wiped the side of RRQ, and by the way, Weiss can't miss, right? And because of that wipeout, they get a turret. Because of a game-changing peel coming out, and OHEB was way too good. Again, Phobius just destroyed the formation of RRQ, and obviously Estes just stopping people up. Well, Estes was the first one to fall in that game, but that allowed the side of Blacklist International to punish. Oheb was in the backlines. Weiss was way too deep. He forced RRQ to be way too deep, and then they punished afterwards. After that 5-man wipeout coming out from Blacklist International, RRQ couldn't recover any part of the map anymore.
It's about converting. It's about getting those kills and turning into gold as quickly as possible. But now, as we're thinking about game number 3, you guys really need to start showing your support out here today. Doesn't matter where you are from. Do you support Blacklist International or RRQ? And if you do, how are you going to do that? How about collect some of these M3 team battle emotes, which are for sale right now, because each of those battle emotes have their own special voiceover lines, and it's exclusive for the M3. So from November 29th to December 12th, you can cheer for your teams by adding support points. Now, we've already seen the support coming in from RRQ, but Blacklist doing a good job so far. How far can they go until then? And quick shout outs. Remember that due to the contract restrictions, MVG Battle Emotes is not going to be sale for the time being. So keep that in mind when you are looking to support your favorite teams. Speaking of Game 3, right? Yeah. Draft seems to be a huge issue that's really putting RRQ at a slight disadvantage. These early game compositions are working out well, but is that good enough?
It's going to be very difficult. I would say just to answer a question, well, definitely game 1 and game number 2 shows that it isn't. What RRQ needs to do right now is to recover from the draft. Make sure that they're not having like just a single win condition against Blacklist International, because Blacklist International, that's the first thing they do. They identify the win condition of the opponents, prevent them from doing that, and then eventually take over the game.
Well, that's something to keep in mind in game number 3. Make sure you guys don't go anywhere. The teams are taking a break, and so will we. And when we come back, it's going to be a game point match. Is the Philippines going to make it through to the next round, or is RRQ going to push it to a game 4? We'll find out right after this.